You're lying in bed, mind racing as your partner sleeps peacefully beside you. Doubts swirl about whether you're truly satisfying them between the sheets. You can't shake the fear that you're missing something crucial, some magical combination of moves and techniques that would unlock unparalleled passion and intimacy. We've all been there, constantly wondering if some secret sexual wisdom eludes us despite our best efforts to please. Questioning whether we could be delivering more ecstasy and fulfillment if we just knew the right sacred keys. Well, get ready to extinguish those anxieties once and for all. Because in this article, cutting-edge psychology is finally pulling back the curtain on the 6 biggest bedroom revelations most women secretly crave. We're going beyond shallow physical tips and into the authentically vulnerable headspaces that ignite true, transcendent bliss. These eye-opening insights are total game-changers, guaranteed to strengthen your confidence while giving you profound new pathways into her deepest layers of pleasure. No more doubts. No more feeling like you're fumbling around, just the power to satisfy her in ways she's likely never experienced before. The best part? Embodying these psychological truths doesn't require being a superhuman Adonis with endless stamina. They're all about cultivating emotional mastery and redefining what truly exceptional intimacy means to the feminine mind. Intrigued to finally experience that elusive next-level connection? Then let's dive into the first electrifying secret most men tragically overlook. Secret number 1. She craves emotional foreplay. Here's a harsh truth: the vast majority of men put zero effort into setting the stage for scorching physical intimacy. They treat the act like a hedonistic finish line to simply cross, rather than an emotionally immersive journey to co-create together first. This emotional foreplay is fundamental to awakening her deepest sensual energy and vulnerability. It's where the real passion gets ignited before you even make contact. I'm talking about things like maintaining sultry, engaged eye contact while talking, slowing building erotic tension through words and innuendo, appreciating her beyond just looks through authentic praise, getting her to open up about fears and boundaries to dissolve, creating an ambient space that relaxes her cognitive overload. These often overlooked practices are like emotional aphrodisiacs that prime her psyche to completely surrender and let go. They dissolve anxieties, amp up the hormonal rush, and make her feel deeply safe unraveling her unrestrained sensual self in your company. Because here's what most men tragically misunderstand: the female organism is not merely a physical machine you activate with the right combination of friction and motion. It's an interconnected ecosystem combining emotional, psychological, and physical arousal that builds over time before peaking. The more effort and intention you put into curating that gradual emotional awakening, the more deeply engrossing and euphoric the eventual intimacy becomes. She won't just feel satisfied on a basic physiological level, but completely consumed by the profound headspace of intimacy you've both collaboratively breathed life into. Secret number 2. She wants to experience your animalistic, primal energy. It may seem counterintuitive, but one of the things that gets most women ravenously hot lies in giving her calculated glimpses of your own uncivilized, unleashed animal side in the bedroom. We're talking eye-twinkling doses of controlled aggression, dominance, and appetite that make her feel deliriously desired. This shocking display of your primal masculine essence isn't an excuse for violence or boundary crossing. It's about embodying a very specific, calculated energy that makes her feel like the object of a man-hunger so intense she temporarily abandons all thoughts and inhibitions. This could look like things like wrestling her into a compromising position while smiling devilishly, pinning her down and growling something like "you're all mine," leaving tantalizing marks and bruises in the throes of passion, firmly grabbing her hair or wrists from behind while thrusting, whispering deliciously filthy talk graphically describing your desires. These ferocious displays are psychological gold because they ignite deeply rooted biological cues about being hungrily desired in a distinctly predatory way. And for women who feel insatiably safe with you, this sensual ferocity acts like powerful aphrodisiac that heightens arousal. It's primal psychological confirmation that you see her as something wildly precious worth possessing and consuming. You're not sleepwalking through intimacy, but devouring her with the same uninhibited gusto of a ravenous beast finally allowed to indulge its hunger. Paradoxically, it's this unbridled animal hostility existing within a contained space of emotional trust and protection that creates the vortex of euphoria she craves. She's your prey tonight, but also your universe, both coveted and cherished within those tangled boundaries. So unleash the snarling beast on her, in calculated doses. The more uninhibited and rapacious you become at times, the more aroused she'll feel by experiencing your most unchained state of masculine appetite. Secret number 3. She wants you in a state of erotic non-judgment. Most people carry endless layers of inhibitions, self-criticism, and shame surrounding sex. We're brought up with rigid social conditioning that imprints feelings of abnormality surrounding even the most natural erotic desires and kinks. And for a lot of women, this can instill really damaging subconscious beliefs around expressing their true, unrestrained sensual selves. Far too many stifle their wildest fantasies and psychological turn-ons because they fear experiencing rejection, humiliation, or judgment if they confess them. This is why the hallmark of a truly skilled and generous lover lies in mastering the art of erotic acceptance, creating an environment where she feels deeply safe to voice even her most depraved, private erotic thoughts without the specter of shame, humiliation, or rejection. By continuously showing through words and energy that you enter the bedroom free of moral hang-ups or insecurities, she'll be infinitely more comfortable loosening her inhibitions and allowing you to bear witness to her unrestrained passion. This freedom to play in a judgment-free erotic space allows her to explore the darkest crevices of her desire without performative concern over how depraved or normal they seem. It's like gradually dismantling the inner psychological shackles that constrict her truest aura. And the more she gets to openly inhabit that vibrant sensual essence without suppression or apology, the more euphoria, trust, and intimacy inevitably expands between you. In many ways, upholding this state of sacred non-judgment during intimacy is masculine gift to the feminine spirit longing for that blessed liberation. You're silently vowing to never diminish or disrespect the vulnerable unraveling before you, but protect and celebrate it wholeheartedly. That level of erotic sanctuary and emotional allowance is the breeding ground for her to reach boundless new ecstatic heights in your presence. Levels of rapture she may rarely experience elsewhere because unconscious self-judgment always hovered in the atmosphere. Secret number 4. She wants you to receive her desires as sacred gifts. One of the biggest blind spots men carry into the bedroom is approaching intimacy like a one-way performance they're responsible for executing properly, rather than an energetic dance of reciprocal exchange. They put so much pressure on themselves to give pleasure through some memorized combination of techniques, checklists, and stamina feats that they completely miss the feminine's equal desire to also bestow the intoxicating gift of gratification unto them. Because here's the hard truth: women crave being able to provide rapturous gratification just as much as receiving it. The ability to worship their partner's desires with the same fervent passion is part of embodying their deepest, primal feminine honor. That's why the men who unlock the most ecstasy make themselves energetically open vessels, gratefully permitting her to gift them with the same pleasurable transcendence they're delivering. They invite her to not just receive passion, but experience the sacred pride of lavishing it with abandon. The implications of this shift in perception are profound. By allowing yourself to receive her offerings of erotic generosity as consecrated acts of devotion, you amplify her sense of feminine power and reverence for the ritual at hand. She gets to experience providing euphoria as an equally sacred role, not just a passive receptacle for your technique. This turns intimacy into a ceremonious circuit where you're exchanging those divine gifts of rapture back and forth, stoking the fire between you into an erotic maelstrom. On a psychological level, this energetic reciprocation lights up primitive cues of being lavished upon as an exalted erotic deity. You're not just taking from her, but communing in a cycle of mutual worship that transcends mere orgasmic release. The act itself becomes a holy sacrament of exchanging those elevated sensual blessings to one another through the physical and energetic plane. She's no longer just your lover, but your celestial high priestess anointing you with those rapturous anointments. Few practices will inspire more awe and devotion from her than learning to fully open yourself as an accepting chalice for the erotic sacraments she longs to pour into you with fervor. Meet her in that consecrated space and the intimacy achieves unparalleled cosmic dimensions. Secret number 5. She craves explorations beyond the orgasm. While the apex of orgasmic release is certainly a powerful component of fulfilling sex for most, many women crave exploring the vast realms of intimacy that exist beyond just chasing that physiological climax over and over. They want the intellectual stimulation of flirting with tantric rituals and exercises that decentralize orgasm from the focus, expanding their consciousness into more transcendent states of embodied sensitivity and erotic meditation. Things like synchronizing breath and energy, building energetic rapport through eye gazing, using massage and skin tracing without end goal, orgasmic defiance and ride the pleasure wave, exploring different embodiment and chakra openings. The emphasis here shifts from orgasm as a finite objective unto itself, into a spacious ocean of reverent sensual exploration for its own sake. You're co-creating a temple of worship dedicated to the profound intimacy possible from sharpening your unified sensual awareness. This teases her sense of adventuring into enchanting new frontiers relatively uncharted by most spiritually checked-out lovers. It awakens tantalizing perspectives about the vaster continuum of sensual heights yet to be achieved. From an experiential standpoint, these transcendent intimate practices allow her to luxuriate in erotic expansiveness relatively foreign outside orgasmic routines. She gets to shed inhibitions and embody her most radiant, fearless sensual presence rather than constantly pursuing a singular physiological outcome. It's also an opportunity for both of you to become erotic scientists of sorts, gleefully experimenting with the expansive spectrum of techniques, philosophical perspectives, and awareness-shifting exercises that many dismiss as too new agey or frivolous. When you demonstrate curiosity and authentically open-hearted engagement with these sacred intimacy realms beyond orgasm, it awakens her aspirations about the breathtaking erotic heights still possible to explore at your side as an enthusiastic accomplice. Secret number 6. She needs you to be emotionally integrated afterwards. One of the most tender yet devastatingly misunderstood aspects of the female experience after intimacy is that intense psychological bonding period that immediately follows those precious afterglow moments most men unwittingly fumble. This is when some of her deepest emotional and psychological needs spike intensely. She's in a heightened state of vulnerability, awash in swirling neurochemicals and newly replenished with potent energy you've collectively summoned in the ritual. And it's during this time when she quite literally needs you to be an anchored, emotionally integrated safe harbor for her to keep weathering these powerful emotional spiritual energies you've co-created. This doesn't just mean lying there like a dead fish either. She needs you to maintain tender, relaxed eye contact. Affirm her through authentic praise and appreciation. Deepen the resonance through weighted touches. Create emotional safety by cradling and providing warmth. Let your vibe radiate penetrative yet respectful presence. These practices allow her to metabolize and bask in the glorious illumination of vulnerability you've mutually unlocked within one another. To ground in the profound crucible of intimacy you've collaboratively created from your union. This sacred afterglow period gives you both an opportunity to truly let the magnitude of what you've co-created on an energetic level continue emanating and expanding beyond the physical. You fuse in a very palpable way on subtler, non-corporeal planes. By learning to honor this delicate sacred space through your unwavering attentiveness, you create a fertile void where her feminine emotional/spiritual essence can continue blossoming in awestruck receptivity, feeling unconditionally seen, held, and worshipped in the afterglow of your consecrated labor. It's the ultimate soil for her to bask in the radiant sensual splendor of the empress you've awakened in her inner realms. To dwell in sincere reverence and humble gratitude for the divine experience of intimate communion you've selflessly hosted. Those are the 6 secrets every woman wishes men understood on a primal level when it comes to earth-shattering intimacy. The insights guaranteed to demolish those residual fears of not satisfying her deeply enough. You now have inside access to the priceless perspectives necessary for cultivating truly transcendent, euphoric experiences virtually unattainable for most couples tragically fixated only on superficial mechanical intimacy. These revelations unleash doorways into feminine realms of sensual ecstasy few lovers dare explore together as such devoted accomplices. You're now equipped with the wisdom necessary to activate her luscious, most radically vulnerable erotic lushness. No more settling for uninspired, tension-filled intimacy plagued by performance anxiety and lingering emotional inhibitions. No more sleepwalking through intimacy as another mundane corporeally confined transaction devoid of spiritual immersion. Apply these secrets with the sensitivity and sacred space they deserve, and you'll blow open new thresholds of cathartic feminine rapture. You'll cement yourself as an induction point through which she can fearlessly experience her most intoxicating, liberated sensual essence without apology. That's the hallmark of sublime intimate mastery, the ability to relentlessly usher her into expansive new dimensions of ecstatic abandon through devotional stewardship. So forget all the tired misinformation and gimmicks. True lasting intimacy is far richer than any physical hack or technique could ever approximate. Step into the light of these powerful feminine mysteries, and that soul-shaking lovemaking she secretly yearns for finally awaits your arrival.